Hello and welcome to Totally Trades. This session is provided to you by New Ventures Maine. New Ventures Maine has been providing in-person Totally Trades conferences for many years in Maine, and for the past 2 years, we have provided virtual sessions. These sessions are intended for people who identify as girls or as gender expansive, gender non-conforming, or non-binary, and are interested in exploring non-traditional careers. Totally Trades provides information about careers in trades and technical fields that students of any gender might want to explore. We welcome students of all abilities, backgrounds, regions, religions, and experiences. Non-traditional careers are careers that are predominantly and traditionally filled by one gender. Occupations such as truck driving, engineering, pilots, and architects are considered non-traditional occupations for women. Careers such as nursing, childcare provider, and elementary teaching are considered non-traditional for men.
My name is Lisa Archer. I work for New Ventures Maine as a career development specialist. I want to welcome you today to this police officer virtual Totally Trades session. Most of the wage information and data we reference today will be information that we gathered from the Maine Department of Labor and ONET.org, which is an interactive career and workforce research tool available to you for free. So now let's take a look at what criminal justice jobs look like. We have listed a few here on the screen, the most common being a police officer, but there are several branches of officers to choose from, like being a state police officer or a sheriff even. But there are so many more careers that encompass criminal justice. For instance, police dispatcher, probation and correction officers, detectives, criminal investigation, social workers, lawyers, and canine handlers, which we highlight next. On the screen, you will notice the jobs that have a sun next to them. These jobs are considered to have a bright job outlook in the state of Maine. The wages listed are also Maine specific. If you want to do your own research of any jobs, check out the website ONET. Now let's take a look at the canine officer video.
You can be anything you want to be in the Sheriff's Department. Meet Deputies Kirsten Racine and Olivia Steinmeier. They are members of the Sheriff's Canine Unit. Both always knew they wanted to be a deputy.
Just being able there to help the community, hear the different stories, and knowing that the job is different every day, and it's rewarding at the end of the day, knowing that you made a difference in your community.
I really like people. I like the fact that every day is different. And I was raised to treat people the way I would like to be treated, and I knew as a deputy I could continue that every day.
Going to work with man's best friend as their partner is also rewarding.
It was always one of my goals. I've always wanted to work with a canine.
I think that there's a lot of deputies, I say a lot of girls, that dream of having a dog and having it be part of your job.
Kirsten and her canine partner Carr work at the Las Colinas Detention and Reentry Facility in Santee.
Within the jail, I'm there for the security of the deputies. I'm there to sniff for drugs and basically just stand sometimes outside in a yard and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. We go through the lobby every day, every morning, the visitors' parking lot every morning, so that we can cut off drugs coming into the jails. My goal every day is to find the drugs and get them out of here, or find them before they get all the way in here.
Olivia and her canine partner Rafa keep Valley Center safe. They can also be called to assist deputies in various communities in the North County.
If the suspect flees and fights the deputies or officers on scene, the canine is deployed to assist, but it's there also for protection of the deputies, the officers on scene, as well as citizens and those surrounding that area. I wanted to be that for my partners and the deputies out in the field and offer that extra tool for safety of the community and my partners.
Being a canine handler is hard work. A deputy must have at least 2 years of patrol experience before they can apply to a 12-week academy. During this period, the handler and canine establish a working relationship to face real-life scenarios, from searching buildings or fields, tracking suspects or evidence, and finding drugs.
As well as going through tunnels, going under fences, and the different styles of offenses he would encounter out in the field. Because they're not always solid walls, they're not always brick walls. So we have that out here, and he trains on those, so he knows that he can jump over, he can go under, he can go through the dark tunnels.
At training, Kirsten and Olivia had to meet and pass the same requirements and physical demands as their male colleagues.
There's a dummy drag or a simulated dog drag. You have to fight a canine in a full bite suit for 30 seconds. You have to be able to jump over a 5-foot wall in the pants. You have to be able to put a simulated dog over that same wall.
These highly trained dogs have an impressive ability to flip the switch when it's time to work.
You have to learn what makes them kind of turn on and turn off. You have to learn when to talk loud or excited to him and when to talk quiet, or when not to talk at all, because sometimes that's even too much.
The bond they form with their handlers is unlike any other.
You have to trust that he's going to do what you want him to do when you want to do it.
This partnership doesn't end on the job. The canines come home with the deputies at the end of the shift. They're high energy and require a lot of attention, but deputies wouldn't have it any other way.
Like I said, it's hard work, but we're here to serve our community.
It's an amazing tool, and we're lucky. We're lucky that we have them here.
Kirsten and Olivia say being a canine handler is very fulfilling, and they hope more young people, especially girls, will look into a job with the Sheriff's Department.
You know, the job opportunities with this department is endless. It's hard work, but it's definitely rewarding when you get there and you actually accomplish it and you look back and think about the times where you felt you couldn't and you just kept at it, and that's the best rewards.
I think the key in every job is find something you love. Anybody can be me someday. If I can be me, you can be me. It's great. You just have to put your mind to it. Don't stop, don't give up, and you'll make it. It's awesome. It's amazing how you can go from nothing to everything and live your dream, and that's what I do. I live it every day. I love it.
We are proud to celebrate all the women who work to ensure the people we serve feel safe and secure every day. The Sheriff's Department has a proud history of female leaders. Are you ready to join them?
Like we said, there are so many different jobs within criminal justice. Here in Maine, we have a cutting-edge crime lab. The Maine State Police Crime Laboratory is located in Augusta, Maine. It has served Maine since 1926. Their services are offered to all law enforcement agencies operating within the borders of Maine. The Crime Laboratory possesses state-of-the-art equipment and instrumentation available to the scientific community. Operatives are trained to compare evidence collected from crime scenes, which could link or eliminate suspects to crimes, crash reconstruction, polygraph administration and analysis, and missing persons units, to name a few. I spoke directly to a representative of the crime lab, and she stated that they used to offer class tours, but with the pandemic they couldn't do large groups at this time, but to keep watching the website if it's in something you're interested in. She also stated that they offer college internships often, directly to the crime lab itself, so that might be a great opportunity for anyone interested in this type of work. In recent years, local police departments have been recruiting women to work in their departments. Here's an example of that in Bangor, Maine.
The now hiring sign on the side of the building from a few months ago has been taken down, but the Bangor Police Department is still looking for new recruits. Of the department's cadets and recent graduates from the Maine Criminal Justice Academy, 3 are women. Officer Andrea Gurecki is one of the department's most recent female graduates, and she tells our Newsheader Maine Samantha Sugarman why she's hanging up her boxing gloves and trading them in for handcuffs.
I'll be off and running by then.
Andrea Gurecki has already lived 3 lives. She's a real estate developer, an amateur boxer, and an artist.
You can't really box in Boston without having interaction with the police.
Now she is the police, the latest addition to the Bangor Police Department.
So I was an amateur boxer for about 5-6 years, in which I found my passion that I wanted to be in law enforcement.
Boxing inspired her to make a career change after seeing the interactions between Boston cops and area youth.
I saw that I was part of it. I would help these kids train and learn, and I wanted to be a part of more than just teaching them to box. Bangor, the department itself, has everything that a big city has to offer in a smaller city, in a smaller setting.
At full staff, the Bangor Police Department has 84 officers. Gorecki brings the number of female officers in the department to 7. 2 more women are coming Bangor's way, fresh from the Maine Criminal Justice Academy class just underway.
The department's really, picking up in female applicants, which is great, and that just means that more females are more interested in becoming law enforcement officers.
Officer Elizabeth Ash is a member of the Bangor Police Department who currently serves as a community resource officer since 2017. Officer Ash, a New York native, relocated to Maine for the opportunity to work in law enforcement full-time. Officer Ash chose to work at the Bangor Police Department because of the department's unmatched level of commitment to the citizens of Bangor, along with its unwavering professional standards. As a community resource officer, she acts as a bridge between the police department and the local community. She strives to make connections with a diverse population of people who live, work, and visit Bangor. With a community policing-centered philosophy driving her pursuits, Officer Ash assumes many roles not typically associated with the work of a patrol officer, such as working with caseworkers to house the homeless and providing educational classes to the community. When asked about her unique role in law enforcement, Ash emphasized the rapidly changing demands of the career field and that the need to adapt to and meet the demands of the community. In her free time, Officer Ash enjoys reading the latest nonfiction literature, hiking with her dogs, or watching the latest documentary released on Netflix.
Hello everyone, I am Community Resource Officer Ash with Bangor Police Department, and I'm really excited to join you guys, even though it's virtual, but we adapt and overcome with COVID, right? So I was asked to speak to you today about being a police officer, being a female police officer, and all the good stuff that comes with that. So I guess, when did I first learn that I wanted to become a police officer? I first realized I wanted to be a police officer after spending 4 arduous years in undergraduate, which you don't need to do, by the way. You could easily do 2 years of undergrad. The only requirement is some PDs do require certain college credit hours, but again, just really research the PDs that you're applying to beforehand. But anyway, 4 years in college, I thought I wanted to be an attorney or work for some big business or do something corporate-like. And I realized that sitting behind a desk, I just couldn't do for 10, 12 hours a day. And that's when I started really talking with friends and family. I was just working part-time at a restaurant, just trying to figure it out, I guess. And then someone on my rugby team actually suggested that I become a police officer, which I never considered before. So the first step I did was I did as many ride-alongs as possible. I spoke to as many different police officers as I could, just trying to figure out what exactly the job entailed, because I never had something like this, even if it was virtual. So I basically started doing my research and said, yeah, this is something I could get into. And then I started looking at various departments, and that's how I found my way up to Maine, because we are always looking for great qualified candidates, and we have so many great departments up here to choose from, and the quality of life and your work-life balance within our state, and even in Bangor, is amazing.
Let's talk about education for police officers. There is a minimum requirement of a high school education or equivalent. There are several universities and community colleges in Maine that offer certificates and or 1 to 4 year criminal justice programs in specialized fields. To be a police officer, you'll need to have a successful completion of the police academy, which includes education on state ordinances and laws, local laws, constitutional law, incident reporting guidelines, civic rights knowledge, criminal psychology, CPR and first aid, self-defense techniques, risk assessments, and use of police equipment, firearm training, and so forth. We wanted to show you what the Criminal Justice Academy looked like. It's located in Vassalboro, Maine. It's pretty impressive. With rare exceptions, all future Maine police officers, Sheriff's Patrol, and law enforcement officers must complete the state-required officer training through this academy's basic law enforcement training program. This is an extensive 18-week course covering academic content, law enforcement skills, and physical training. Depending on the department the recruit is pursuing, further training may be required. For example, following graduation from the academy, Maine State Troopers joined the Recruit Training Troop. The Recruit Training Troop is an additional 9-week training program beyond the 18-week basic training. This video is of Dottie Small, who was the first female police officer in the city of Ellsworth.
Go ahead.
It really started when I became a dispatcher. I worked at a pharmacy as a pharmacy assistant and saw the ad to become a dispatcher. It had always interested me. It was the age of scanners. Everybody was listening to what was happening with the police department.
10-4, thank you.
At one point, the then police chief Albert Carter said, "Have you ever considered becoming a police officer?" I don't have any real illusion that it was because I was going to be the best police officer in the world. It was simply time for the first woman police officer, first female, and I was a known entity. They knew, how I would act, how I responded to people, how I treated people. It used to be back when I first started that cops were hired because they were strong and they were tough and they could break up bar fights. And law enforcement has changed so dramatically over the years that you really need all walks of life, all sorts of people with all sorts of different experiences to be able to do this job, to be able to deal with people.
How long ago was that?
It's a great career. It just, I can't say enough good things about law enforcement as a choice. It's exciting. You get to make a difference. You get to help people. Technology has changed so much, and you have to keep up on all the laws and all the regulations. And even the law books, we used to get them, and every month we'd get a little insert. You'd take the old one out, put in the new insert when the legislature met, and now it's all online. You just type it in and there's the law. You can read it all almost instantly.
All right, thanks.
We have listed some helpful resources on this slide so you can do some of your own research about the career options that excite you. Take some time to explore these websites and see what's out there. The links to these resources will be shared with you after Totally Trades has ended.
Your feedback is important to us. Please complete the form that was sent or provided to you by the school staff person who gave you the link for this session. Totally Trades is sponsored by the Maine Department of Transportation and the Maine Department of Education, Career, and Technical Education. We thank them for their support. On our website, you can find other partners, organizations, and employers who also support Totally Trades. Thank you for joining us today for this Totally Trades session.